Hello, Fable here. Discovering your sexual side. I was raised a strict Catholic girl, and although my mom was very open and honest with us, sometimes a little too open, too honest, she did tell us that we don't have to wait till we're married, but it should be with, don't rush into it. It's a big step, and it should be with someone that you really care about and they really care about you. That some guys can just say, I love you. And I had a friend that thought, oh, he loves me. He's had sex with me. No. So I was glad that she was open and honest with me to a point. So my ex was my first. I know that comes to a shock to some people. Some guys thinks it's so great, and others are like, really? How old were you? And I didn't discover my true sexual side until after my divorce. I don't blame him totally. It's who he was, and I was not experienced. And no one talked to me about exploring my sexuality as much as my mom said, make sure it's someone you care about and they care about you. I wish someone would have opened up and said, But a dear friend of mine said, you need to try on a pair of shoes. Make sure they're a good fit before you commit to buy them. And then sometimes they feel great in the store, but when you get them home, put them on. Maybe not the first, second time, but not so much. So, of course, she's referring to sex, but she said, because sometimes you're blinded by how much you love them. They're sparkly, they're great. Everything's great in the beginning. And then after a while, not so much. So make sure the person you're having sex with is the right fit. But back again to that connection. I seem to be talking a lot lately, last couple of video posts about sex. And yes, it's true. The more you talk about it, the less you're getting it. I will admit it's been a long while. Much as I want someone, I'll not jump in bed with someone. Because, as I say, sex is the easy part. And it can cloud your judgment with the other connections, especially if it's grand, great, wonderful. You kind of lose his red flags, his not so great qualities. Also, when all he wants to do is have sex and not take you to dinner, not go to the movies, don't want to take a drive down the shore, that they're only interested in sex. I learned that lesson the hard way, pun included, intended, I should say. I have learned also, bigger isn't always better. They have to know how to use it, and it has to be able to rise to the occasion. And I also learned I don't want someone just jamming it in me nonstop and nothing leading up to it. I found I very much love oral sex, both giving and getting. I love kissing and all the things that lead up to the actual intercourse. To me, that's like the biggest part, everything leading up to it. I tell everyone I meet, if all I wanted was sex, well, I can pretty much get that anywhere, from anyone. I sowed my wild oats when I first got divorced. Yes, I will admit it. Did some crazy things. And now I want to have a true lasting relationship, long-term relationship. Though many say they do, they really don't. They're just saying that because they think, oh, if I say that, I'm good. So, do I want to have sex with someone? Absolutely. And I feel taking our time getting to know each other better before we jump to sex makes it so much better. If all the other connections are great, that should be even better. Let me tell you, not always. Met a guy, amazing guy, gentleman, sweetheart, attraction, took me to dinner, just fabulous guy. Got to that sex part and oh God, it was awful. He thought he was amazing and he just didn't know what he was doing. I mean, it didn't feel good. I don't know. My friend said I should tell him. I'm like, how do you tell someone? She said, well, if no one tells him, I'm not gonna be the one to crush some guy. I mean, that's just not in me. So I just feel like I said, all those connections that you have, if all those are great, get to know someone, then, and along the way getting to know each other, part of that is your likes and dislikes in the bedroom sexually, because kind of know you're compatible. If he's just vanilla, ain't gonna work. So, and who knows, maybe there's things you want to explore. Maybe he's more experienced. Maybe, you're more experienced. I don't know. Whoever your partner be, man, woman, doesn't matter. I mean, this one guy said to me, he met a woman and he was with his wife since high school. They're divorced, and he said he met a woman and she said, have you ever been pegged? And he was like, what's that? And then she explained to him what it was. And he's like, oh, that's an exit, not an entrance. Sorry, honey, I'm out. So these are things. I mean, I met a guy that enjoyed butt plugs. I know many that have enjoyed those. They just say it just heightens things. So, listen, don't totally say no to something. Try it. Hey, if you're not comfortable trying it, don't try it. But I just discovered that I enjoy so many things. So try to discover yourself. Discover that side of you. I mean, that animal in you. And what I say is lady in the streets, freak in the sheets. Hey. And would some people be shocked? Yeah, I'm sure they would. Other people have made comments. So, but the reason I'm going to share with you something that I wrote in my journal. And this was after when we were going through the divorce and splitting and, going through everything. I am going to read something I wrote, and maybe you can relate. Maybe you've gone through something similar, man or woman. I mean, I know a guy that his wife put him down constantly. And he's a great guy. But it was an entry into my journal. I've kept a journal since I was younger. It says, I felt you hated me as you called me weird and a freak. It was like I didn't mean anything to you. You would call me a loser, would tell me you didn't love me, told me I'm pathetic. These words, your words, played in my head as I tried and fall asleep at night and day after day. I can't get rid of the memory of your voice. These things that I shared with you that you would throw back in my face. The way you made fun of me, laughing when I was crying. I feel like it all meant nothing to you. I felt I meant nothing to you. After everything you had put me through, I still covered for you, and I never left your side. But you still acted like I was not there. My heart slowly faded, and my soul gave up. Slowly, over time, there was no words spoken to each other, just silence. I was nothing but a freak and a loser to you. I was just someone that wasted her time on you. So, very sad. So when I say he called me a freak, I tried to spice things up in the bedroom because that was not happening. I bought lingerie, and he's like, I came in the room. He's like, what? I go, you like it? He goes, what's that? What do you have that on for? Okay. I put porn on. He's like, what the hell are you? And then he had said to me, all you care about is sex. You're a freak. Being my one and only and not being experienced. I mean, people were telling me to try these things. Some of these people were his guy friends. And nothing. I tried waking him up at night by giving him a blowjob, and he woke up, screamed at me, and said, what the heck are you doing? I'm trying to sleep. Okay. After a while, you just give up. You start to really, you do. Your heart does fade. Your soul does give up. And we talked to each other when we had to. And that was it. And it was horrible. But it made me who I am today. It took me on this journey. And also, I write poetry. I love writing poetry. Discovered Sacred Side poetry. So some of those I'll share with you as time goes on. But remember, man or woman, someone telling you you're nothing, you're pathetic, you're not. It's because they're insecure in themselves, and so they need to make you feel bad about yourself to make themselves feel better. And that's sad that someone has to do that, but that's what he did. He really made me feel like I really felt those things he was saying to me that I was. And I'm really not. Very bubbly, outgoing person. He was not. I think that bothered him that I had all these friends, and I even became friends with his friends' wives and, bothered with them. He really didn't want to bother with his friends anymore. I don't know what his issue was. Was he depressed? Was he, I don't know. Some people have, so many people have so many, explanations. But on the other eating front, I did protein shake for breakfast, protein shake for lunch, and I am having a little snack here of my skinny popcorn. So, have my water. I have my Starbucks water bottle. It doesn't keep it so cold though. I do have other water bottles that keep it colder, so I kind of drink it out of the bottle. So you're going to discover so many things about yourself. Like I said last night, don't have what ifs. And someone is only interested in sex. They might take you to dinner once, and then you jump in bed with them, and then, oh, why don't you come over, hang out, watch a movie? Boom, you don't even get to see the movie, and you're having sex. And then, oh, why don't you come over, do takeout? Maybe you will eat, but then you'll have sex. And the most horrible man I ever met, not going to give out his name, but it was at a time I didn't want anything serious. And he said he didn't, which was fine. And we met for coffee the first time. We met the second time and had dinner. And then the third time, he's like, oh, why don't you come over? I'll do takeout. Yeah. Well, that's all it became all the time. Oh, well, order dinner afterwards. And dinner never happened. So I went home hungry. And he forever wanted me to give him a blowjob. And I didn't mind, but he didn't want to reciprocate. And so I finally called him out on it. And I was like, hey, oh, I don't like that. Oh, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, really? And then the one time I am, and I was like coughing, like almost like choking. And I was trying to get him, and he was like holding my head, like, oh. And I threw up. And you know what he does? He cleans it up, cleans himself up, and then expects me to finish. That's when I was done. I'm out of here. I said, I need to go home. Not feeling well. Didn't want to bother with him again. Kept reaching out. He's like, oh, you're amazing. Best I've ever had. Yeah, okay. You'll tell me anything to get me over there so you can get what you want. Not happening. I, blocked him. Then he's on the dating sites. He reaches out. Not interested, dude. Block him on the dating site. Emails me. Hey, why can't we talk? Things were amazing. No, it's been how many years? No. And guess what? I'm even more educated and learned so much more, and you're not what I want. You are a pig. That's all you are, is a pig. So I'm done with that. Over it, been there, done that, sowed my oats, and not. So don't do something you don't want to do. I mean, I've had guys, oh, I'll cook dinner. Why don't you come over? The first time we meet, I'm going to go to you. No. Have you seen the news? Dude, no, ain't happening. And if they push the issue, listen, sorry. When you're ready to take me out on a real date, but I let them know right away. Sex is easy. I want someone that wants to date me and get to know me. You said you wanted a long-term relationship? That's what I want. If that's not what you want, change your profile. Because there's women out there that'll just say, yay, hey, I'll come over. So, but please, you are amazing, no matter what anybody says to you. Amazing, amazing people. Amazing person. Don't let anybody tell you different. If someone's putting you down, telling you differently, it is because they feel not good about themselves. And they have to feel good about themselves. So it makes them feel good to put you down. Don't let them. Don't listen to them. Don't be with them. So for now, that's today. So I'd like to hear feedback. Don't forget, like my videos. Leave comments, please. I want to know. Hey, if you're afraid to find your sexual side, you're afraid of toys, you're afraid of listen, I went to a therapist after my divorce, and she was like, rip off that Band-Aid. So let's rip off the Band-Aid and let's get in there and have those conversations with someone you meet. We're all adults here, so let's just have the conversation, okay? So for now, Fable, signing off.